Hello there, and welcome to the Extra Slice podcast. This is Colin, and today's topic we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. If you didn't know, the new movie is coming out this week called Spider-Man Brand New Day. I believe it is Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man movie because you had Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, and now it's Brand New Day. And he's in Captain America Civil War. He was in Infinity War and Endgame, but this is his fourth solo movie. It's pretty crazy. I've tried to stay away. I've tried my best to stay away from any spoilers from all the trailers that have come out, but it's been hard. Like one time I was at the movies, I had to run out of the theater because I didn't want to see the new trailer that came out. Because I don't want spoilers. I understand that the trailers are there to hook people in, but I'm already hooked from the first teaser trailer. I don't need more. All right. I don't need to see any special scenes or surprises to make me go to the theater. All right, think about the last Captain America movie, New World Order. I forgot what it's called, but it was Sam Wilson's Captain America. In the trailers, they advertised the Red Hulk being in the movie. I didn't need that. I would have gone to see it no matter what, but I feel like they thought they needed to for advertising purposes. I thought it was a good. I guess you probably when you're watching the movie, you see it coming that something's going on with this character. And I guess they needed to advertise it better. I don't know. Their choice. But I feel like going into that movie without knowing that was going to happen would have been so much better. Not knowing the Red Hulk would be in the movie. Like, how awesome would that have been if you did not know he was going to show up? That would have been so cool. But that's how they do it. So when it comes to Marvel movies, I try to just not wash. Oh my gosh, I try to just watch the initial trailers. For example, Doomsday teaser trailer or the trailer just came out this past week. I think that's perfect. All right, it shows just enough to get you hooked. I think they delete some characters in like certain shots that you can definitely tell that that's a spot for a character. But I think their first trailer is good enough to hook me in, and that's all I want. That's all I need because I don't want any cool scenes to be in the trailer. I want to be surprised. I want to go to the movies and see these scenes for the first time. I don't want to see them in the trailer. I don't want that. But anyways, today I want to spend some time talking about the Spider-Man video games that I've played, but I'll save that for later in this episode. But first thing on our docket is I want to go over some video games coming out this week. I think there's a lot, but none that I really care about. The biggest one is called Halo Campaign Evolved, which I think just came out today, or it's also been out for the past few days. There's a Dispatch Xbox version, The King is Watching, Forever Skies, Gothic Classic, Mistfall Hunter, Company of Heroes 3, Final Stand, Void Train, and The Relic, First Guardian, and there's probably a lot more that I didn't cover. The one that stood out to me is Halo, the new Halo Campaign Evolved, which is out on Xbox Series X, PC, and PS5. Who thought that Halo would come to PlayStation? That's nuts. That is crazy to think. But it came out today, but I believe there was an early release for people who pre-ordered the digital deluxe division or something. But people haven't been able to play it since the last week. But that one is the one that stands out to me from all of those games, is the new Halo game. Well, it's not new. I guess it's a remaster of the very first one, but it's just the campaign. It's Halo Campaign Evolved. That's all it is. And I'm not going to get it. I've played the original. Well, I played the first Anniversary Edition. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, I think, came out in 2011, where they remastered the first game, be able to kind of switch back from the first and new graphics. It was pretty cool, pretty fun. That was my first Halo game I bought, I believe. And the campaign is fun, and I think it's good that they're including new missions in this new version. There's, I think, 3 new missions that take place before the story, but I think that's all they're really doing, except for all the upgrades of the visuals and just overhauling the whole thing to make it look beautiful and nice and new. But my experience with Halo is playing multiplayer with friends. This new one, this Campaign Evolved, I don't think has the normal multiplayer like other Halo games do. I think there's still co-op multiplayer where you can play with a friend to go through the missions, but there's no PvP multiplayer. The story is still good on its own. Like, I enjoy the story, but it's not enough for me to buy this new game. And besides, after I beat the first game once, I never wanted to play that story mode again. I don't want to get into spoilers, but if you haven't played the game before, The tone of the game definitely shifts into more of like a scary horror territory. Maybe halfway through, maybe before halfway, but it definitely turns into more scary stuff. When I played the campaign for the first time, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was a shock for me. I was in for a ride, pretty much. And I don't play first person shooters that much anymore, unless it is with friends, so for multiplayer purposes. And that's why I probably will not be getting the new Halo at launch, which is today. I'm not going to, maybe I'll wait for a sale or when it comes out with online multiplayer, but it's not my cup of tea. And I know it's a bit late, but the first two Black Ops games were released on modern PlayStations, I think, a week ago, or at the beginning of this month. I think beginning of July. I used to play the first Black Ops game a lot when it came out, mainly with friends. I never had an Xbox 360 back then, but my friend did, and so I would go to his house a lot, and I'd play with him a lot. I sucked at it. I was never good, but I'd always play with my friends. They like the zombie mode. I never liked the zombie mode. I did not like zombies. I just want to play PvP and just be terrible at it. But I just enjoyed playing with them. But I do think it's cool that those games are now available for newer audiences, because all the people today probably never had a chance to play those original versions out. And I don't even think they remastered them. It's just newer versions of the game, just them being ported to PlayStation 5, and I think 4 and 5. I played a lot of the first Black Ops. I played a little bit of Black Ops 2, but I never got into it. I think that was the ones I played the most. Yeah, Black Ops. The ones I played the most were Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3 for 360. I used to also, oh my gosh, I used to also play a lot of Destiny when that came out. Same with Destiny 2 when they came out. I haven't played them in a long time. Grant you, like it's been so long. Like Destiny 2, it's like a completely different game from when I used to play it. And sometimes I do wish I could get back into that series because I love them. Destiny was fantastic, but I feel intimidated by with how much they added to that game. It's so different now. But speaking of Destiny, there is a game that I have been playing this week that reminds me a lot about it, and that's going to transition into the games that I've been playing. And the biggest game I've been playing this past week is Splatoon Raiders for Nintendo Switch 2. That's the biggest game I've been playing. I've been streaming it. That's the biggest one. I've also played a little bit again. Dragon Quest IX continued, and I also finished streaming Kirby Triple Deluxe. So I'll talk about those a little bit, but the main one that stands out is Splatoon Raiders for Switch 2. And I started playing it last Thursday when it came out. And this is not my official review of the game, but holy cow, is this game addicting. It is so good and addictive. I'm addicted to it. It's so fun. If you didn't know, the Splatoon games are Nintendo's shooter series. Shooter, you can't see, but I'm doing air quotes. It's a loose term for shooter series. The gimmick is that you play as an inkling, like a squid that turns into a kid, or a kid that turns into a squid, back and forth. And instead of shooting bullets, you shoot colored ink. All right. In the main Splatoon series, you mainly compete with other players, PvP, by covering the arena with the most ink. All right, your goal is to spread your ink to cover the most area and see who gets the most. So I think it's called Turf Wars. That's the main game for Splatoon. That's been the past 3 games. Is that mode, Turf Wars? This game still uses the same mechanics. You're shooting ink, but it's more of like a single player story oriented. It's not. You're not doing Turf Wars. You're not just trying to get your area with the most ink. That's not the goal. You're just going on different missions and raids trying to collect treasure. You can still play with other people, but you're going out treasure hunting. So, if you've played Destiny, all right, at least the old Destiny that I remember, you go on different missions, you complete different tasks. So you go out, you can play with people, you can play with your friends. You can just go out. It's just like Splatoon Raiders. All right, another similarity is the weapon variety and the level rarity, like the loot, just collecting loot weapons. All right, you go around, you defeat your salmonids, I think that's what they're called, and they have a chance of dropping loot. And there's different levels, and they'll glow with their level rarity. Like I think green's level 2, purple's level 3. This is just like Destiny. You would drop weapon loot, and the different color glow would show how rare it is. All right, as I said before, this game is very addicting. All right, you choose raids to do. And you can just go and keep replaying the same one if you want. But the further you progress, you can actually do what they call spicier versions of older raids. So you can go back and do old ones, but they're for a higher level. And I love some things I love this game. But you have leveling up, you have customization, you have skill points, loot collecting. This is like a fun RPG game masked with Splatoon. It's fantastic. All right, this game has a great replayability when it comes to its raids. Again, I said already, similar to Destiny. We have completing missions for rewards and weapon loot. It's very similar. You go complete different tasks. It's not as grandiose as Destiny, mind you. It's not as grandiose. You just go to different little islands, go through the level, and finish it, and collect the reward, and get the loot. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet at the time of this, but I am looking forward to that. Because I think I've heard a lot of good things about playing multiplayer with friends. That's what I'm looking forward to, and I'll still get around to that. So that's been Splatoon Raiders. I'm still going to be streaming it. I'll probably stream until I finish it. But I want to talk a little bit more about Dragon Quest IX. Just a smidge more about Dragon Quest IX. I know I talked about it a lot last week, I think. But a little bit more, because I played a little bit more when I had some free time away from Splatoon when I could. But again, I'm just doing a casual playthrough. And one thing I forgot to talk about last time is the vocation system. So in Dragon Quest games, when you win battles, your party gains experience points and you level up. Very fun. Same with Splatoon, honestly. Dragon Quest IX has a vocation system, kind of think of like a job system, where the characters can improve their stats in certain areas as they level up. So maybe you want to be a warrior, maybe you want to be a mage or a martial artist. You get to choose. All right, you get to choose. But as you level up, their stats increase in certain areas. And you can improve their weapon stats. You can improve like vocation skills. Like if you're a warrior, improve your warrior skills. If you're a mage, increase your mage skills, or your weapon stuff. Your choice. But later in the game, you're able to change vocations. Maybe you're done being a martial artist. Like you've done what you want to do. Now you want to go be a mage, or you want to go be a priest, or you want to be a warrior or a minstrel. You're able to change. And once you do change, when you change for the first time, you go back to level 1. But only for the first time you switch to that new vocation. If you switch back to it later on, you'll be at that level. But what you get, so you change to level 1. What doesn't change though is the stat increases you chose to do. They stick with you. So if you're like me, I like to just battle and get XP and level up, you can break the vocation system. So again, when you change your vocation, you go back to level 1, but you can still keep the benefit of your increased stats. So if you increase your stats with each vocation you become like overly strong, pretty much. So now, of course, it can be tedious to grind to that level, but it becomes so addicting when fighting liquid metal slimes. If you know Dragon Quest, metal slime hunting is just fun. All right. And if you're a fan of the franchise, then you know the metal slime family is a great way to gain EXP and level up fast. And if you do this, it can make the main story more easy to do. However, the post game of Dragon Quest IX is still crazy hard. That even doing this stuff does not you still need a lot more help. You still need a lot of work to do in the post game, which is incredibly hard. Okay, the main thing I want to talk about this episode is Spider-Man. Because if you know, the new movie is coming out. Spider-Man Brand New Day is coming out this week. All right, and I have a long history with Spider-Man, mainly because he has been my favorite superhero since I was a wee lad. All right, sorry. Now, I've already talked a little bit about trying to avoid trailers from the movie, but it's a serious problem. I don't get why they feel the need to showcase the entire movie in the trailer. It's just crazy. The main thing I want to talk about are the many video games this character has. All right, so I'm moving away from the movie, talking about the video games now. All right, talking about the video games. I'll try to go in order of release, or at least in the order of my memory of playing them. I haven't played every game, and you'll definitely see I've missed some that people love. All right, but the first one I do remember playing is Spider-Man Friend or Foe for the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii. And again, I'm pretty sure this was my first Spider-Man game. I remember I got the DS game for Christmas along with a DS Lite. And I remember playing the game all day. And I think I finished it within the first or second day I got it. I finished it. And I remember after I finished it, I wanted to watch the credits because, out of respect, you let the credits go. But it was taking so long. I don't know how long those credits were, but it was a long time. So I think I left my DS Lite on my bed, walked out for like lunch or something, came back, and it was still going. Either, to my memory it was long, or to my childish memory it was long, but maybe it's not as long as I thought. I don't know, but it was a long credit scene. It was crazy. But this, I also played this on the Wii, Nintendo Wii. I had a fun time playing with friends. I think it's just a beat 'em up style game where you go through linear levels and have to defeat waves of enemies. I think it's not a popular Spider-Man game, mind you. It's not popular. It's probably hated on, I think. But you can play as other characters too, not just Spider-Man. And I believe like the character models and designs are based off the Spider-Man. Wow, oh my gosh, the Raimi movies. With Tobey Maguire. I think you have the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Venom, the New Goblin are all based off those designs. But this game also has Mysterio. You can play as I think you can play as Iron Fist, the Prowler, Black Cat. There's a few other characters. The Lizard is in there. Scorpion's in there. So there's a few characters that were not in the movies that are in this game, which I think is pretty cool. But I don't think it's related too much to the movies. I don't think it's trying to be, but it's using like their models. This came out around the time those were still popular movies, which they're still popular, but more recent when they came out. The next game I remember playing was Web of Shadows on the Nintendo DS. I wanted to play the 360 version. I'll get into that. I also got this game for Christmas. It was not the same Christmas, but I got it for Christmas. The DS version was a 2D game, and I don't remember much else about that version. I really don't. I don't think I beat it, but I remember playing it for Christmas on Spider-Man. I love it, but I don't think I beat this version. And I have like almost no memory of the DS version. But what I do have is memory of the 360 version that I never got to play because I really wanted the 360 version, Xbox 360 version of the game. But at the time, we didn't have any other consoles besides the Nintendo Wii. So I would just go online and watch the cutscenes and watch gameplay. And oh my gosh, it was so cool. This game was so cool. My friend had a 360. My friend played the game. He loved it. He said it was so cool. I was so jealous. I really wanted to play the game. I really wanted it. So when I finally did eventually get a 360 back, I think I was in high school, I tried looking for the game, but it was nowhere to be found. I could not find it anywhere. Like not a GameStop. It wasn't pre-owned anywhere. It was just gone. So to this day, I have been unable to acquire the game. I've not been able to play it. I've wanted to play it so badly, but I can't because it's nowhere. I can't get it anywhere. So hopefully someday they re-release it, or just make it. Maybe it's digital. I don't know. I want to play this game so badly because I loved watching it when I was younger. I love watching this game, which is so sad to say because I never got to play it. And it's expensive nowadays. Like I've gone to some game conventions trying to find it. I think I saw it once. It was like over $200. I'm not paying over $200 for that game, for it to not work. I don't want to pay $200. The most I'll pay is maybe $80, but not $200. That's nuts. The next game I played was Shattered Dimensions, also for Nintendo DS. And again, I also wanted to play this on my Xbox 360. Well, on a Xbox 360 at the time, I didn't have one. This game was very similar to Web of Shadows on the DS, but I do remember a little bit more. I believe, thinking back to it, it kind of reminds me of like a Metroidvania style game where you're going around exploring, going to different pathways, different areas. And the areas change depending on what time or which Spider-Man you play as. Because again, this game has 4 different Spider-Man. You have just the Amazing Spider-Man, his red and blue costume. You have, I think they called it Ultimate Spider-Man, where you're like with a symbiote suit. You have Spider-Man Noir, where it's black and white, pretty awesome. And you have Spider-Man 2099, which is like in the future. So you have the 4 different Spider-Man in this game. And I believe this game is what caused the popularity for the Spider-Verse. It was not the first time the franchise ever done that. I believe that might have been, from my knowledge, in the old show, the Spider-Man, it might have been 90s, I don't know. But I remember at the end of that show, they had a whole, these different Spider-Men come together. That was pretty cool. I think that might have been the first time, but I could be wrong. But this game, I believe, I am having a terrible time here. Popularized. This game made it popular to have more than one Spider-Man coming together. All right, because that inspired the Spider-Verse comics, which also inspired the Spider-Verse movies. This game, again, I didn't get to play it on 360 because I didn't have it. I still don't have it. But this game, I haven't been looking for it. But I really think it's a cool gimmick. It's a cool idea. Play as 4 different Spider-Man. They are different styles. Really cool. Really fun idea. All right. Again, I also just watched the cutscenes and gameplay of this 360 version, and I loved all the Easter eggs and callbacks. Like, for example, all the different Spider-Man are voiced by actors who did the voices of the Spider-Man in the various animated shows. So I think that's really cool. You have, let's see, I don't know their names. You have Josh Keaton, you have Patrick Harris. Those are the only two I really know at the top of my head. Let's see, but this is, again, this is what I think inspired the Spider-Verse series. After this game was Spider-Man Edge of Time, and I played this only on the 3DS. I didn't have it on 360, and I think it's also on Wii U. I didn't play it there. No, I played this on the 3DS. But this one's actually more similar to the console versions, but it's just not as good quality. I really like the time travel aspect, but the gameplay was not the best because you're just stuck in the building for the entire game, honestly. I think this might have been like their response to like the Arkham Asylum game, because you're Spider-Man stuck in a building. You don't want to play Spider-Man stuck in a building. You want to swing around New York. The Edge of Time I think is definitely not hated on, but maybe disliked because you're stuck in a building. But I am a sucker for time travel, and I really liked the villain twist later in this game, Edge of Time. Really cool twist. All right. The next one is The Amazing Spider-Man, which I did play on my Xbox 360. This is my first open world Spider-Man game. And man, what a disappointment this game. Yeah, it's not terrible, but I'm just rambling on here. It's not good. The game itself isn't terrible, but it's not great. So I did enjoy the game for the most part, and my favorite part was exploring and collecting comic book pages. I am a sucker for collectibles. I love just going around and collecting everything I could find. And this game had comic book pages, which I think you can go back and read as comic books, which is really cool idea. And this game sort of connects to the movie of the same title, The Amazing Spider-Man, but I don't think it's canon. Like, there's some stuff in this game that contradicts the sequel movie, so I don't think it's canon. But fun fact, The Amazing Spider-Man movie was my very first midnight release movie I ever went to go see. I love that movie. Great movie. It's great. One of my favorites. And I've loved it ever since it came out, not just because, No Way Home had Andrew Garfield in it. I've loved The Amazing Spider-Man since it came out. Great Spider-Man movie. Great movie. I used to hate the costume, though, but I have grown to really like how unique it is. Like, the Amazing Spider-Man costume does not look the best, but I used to hate it. I've grown to love it. I got a soft spot for that suit. And I think it's really cool and unique. It's different enough to where it's, not too bad, but it's unique. It's a good suit. All right, so that's the Amazing Spider-Man game. The next game I think is very popular, which is Spider-Man for PS4. And what can I say about this game? But it is so good. Man, this game is fantastic. You have the story, you have the characters, you have the gameplay. Everything about this game is great. It's so good. Man, I played this game when it first came out on PS4, back when we had the original Peter Parker design, which got changed later on. I do miss that character design. I do miss it. I was bummed when it got remodeled. I mean, when Spider-Man 2 came out, I was fine with it. I grew accustomed to it, but I do miss the original design that they had for Peter Parker in the PS4 version. I wish they could somehow, let you bring it back, but I don't think that might take too much effort on their part to make that happen. All right. But this game probably has one of the best Spider-Man stories of all time, and it does have a really heartbreaking one. It's really heartbreaking near the end. It's sad. It's really sad. But this is a game that I feel like everyone should play, even if you're not a Spider-Man fan. The story is great. Again, I said already, the story is great, the character is great, the gameplay, just swinging around New York. This is my first game, really just doing that. And it's very similar to The Amazing Spider-Man. I just loved going around and collecting everything. I loved all the suit upgrades you can get, the suit designs you can get, just upgrading. It's just so fun. Swinging around, doing little missions here and there, collecting everything. And this game has it all. This game is fantastic. This is my favorite Spider-Man game. Spoilers. But next after this is Miles Morales. I got this for PS5. Now, I remember I went to get this for PS4. You know what? I want to order a PS5. So I got a PS5. I was able to. I got this game for PS5. This is a fun game. But I think this game is what should count. This is what DLC should be, is what this game is. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed playing this title, but it was really short. It's not the longest game. It's not the shortest either. It's like in the middle, and or like maybe less than the middle. It's a short game. I think it's 10 hours, a little less than 10 hours, a little less than that. I enjoyed playing it. I just it's long enough to be considered its own game, but I think it should be DLC. This game is what DLC should be. If you're getting DLC, this is what DLC should be required to be. This level, Miles Morales, that's what DLC should be. That's worth it, in my opinion. But Miles does have a unique play style that makes him different from Peter, and that makes him fun and unique to play as. Because you might think going into it's just you're just playing as Peter Parker. No, Miles Morales is different enough that he is unique and still fun to play as. It's separate enough that he is fun to play as. It's different enough. I keep saying that over and over. It's different. It's fun. It's still fun and different. This game does have a good story, but because the game was so short, I didn't feel a bigger connection to the characters in the story that I had with the previous Spider-Man game. I felt like in the previous one, I had so much time to get connected with these characters that I felt what they were going through at the end of the game. Miles Morales for PS5, I didn't get that connection. They kind of tried to force feed it into us, like, oh hey, you know this person so and so a long time ago, now they're back, and this happens. It just goes so fast. You don't feel that big of a connection with it as the first Spider-Man game. But then we get to Spider-Man 2 for PS5. This is a great game too. Sadly, to me at least, this game came out around the same time as two other games, Super Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars. I played this game so fast that I was going to finish it in under a week because I wanted to play all these games at the same time. But for some reason, I didn't want to be done with this game, so I put it down without finishing it. I went to play the other games and didn't go back. And I was right at the end of the game. I was so close to finishing it. I still haven't gone back to finish it. I have not finished Spider-Man 2. But the problem now is that if I go back, I'm going to have to relearn how to play the game. And that is doable. But I just don't have a desire to do it for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't have a desire to go back and finish it for some dumb reason. And I'm so close to finishing. I was at the very end of the game. I think it was right before the final boss. I was so close to finishing it, but I haven't done it for some reason. Oh my gosh. This game is great, and I think that they did well with having to incorporate both Peter and Miles as playable characters in one game. I think that was tricky, but they did it. Although I do remember being annoyed with Miles because his whole thing was about writing a college essay or something like that. I didn't care about that. I just wanted to see more of Peter and Harry. I don't care about Miles is great. I don't need him. I just wanted a Peter-centric game. Miles had his own game, Give Miles his own game, give Peter his own game. They don't have to combine them, But when the next Spider-Man game gets announced, I will definitely go back and finally finish this game, hopefully. But then I'll probably replay the first one again for the third time. All right. Yeah, I need to go back and finish Spider-Man 2. That's my fault. That is my fault. That's my bad. All right, one thing I want to talk about this week that I didn't talk about last week a little bit is movies. All right, this past week, I was able to go see 2 movies in theaters, which might seem like a lot, might seem like not a lot, depending on who you are. But the first movie I saw was Avatar: Aang, The Last Airbender. And the second movie I saw was The Odyssey. Thankfully, I live close enough to one of the 2 theaters that is showing Avatar. I went to go see it in Burbank, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to see it. Because after seeing it, I was dumbfounded that they didn't want to show this in theaters. And when I say they, I'm talking about Paramount. Because originally, this movie was made to be shown in theaters. But Paramount decided, no, we're just going to put this on Paramount Plus. Because we want to make some money. And I'm just thinking, I'll give you money, but go into the theaters. I'll watch it in theaters. And I did. But they put it in theaters not for the public, but so it can get awards, I think later on, for the Oscars and stuff. This film is made to be viewed in the cinema. It is made for cinema. All right. I don't know if the higher ups were worried it wouldn't do well, but they clearly have no faith in the franchise that almost everyone loves and adores. All right. When tickets went on sale, they were almost sold out for these 2 theaters in the United States. They were almost sold out. But thankfully, some friends were able to get some tickets. Some friends and I were able to get some tickets, and we got front row seats for this movie because that's what was left over. So I got to see this movie in the front row in theaters. Pretty awesome. I did watch this movie again at home later on, I think the next day, but it was still a good viewing experience, but it was so much better on the big screen. All right, and I did list some pros I had with the movie and some cons. It's not a perfect movie, it's not perfect, but there's some pros. All right, so here are my pros. Great animation. The animation is so good and vibrant. It's so beautiful. There's so much detail they put into this movie. Like there's never a dull moment with animation. It is constantly moving, which also might be a bad thing. But I think to me it's good. Great animation. Also great soundtrack. I believe they got the same composer from the original show, so that was pretty awesome. Good antagonist. I liked the antagonist of this movie. Uh, they didn't feel like a retread of a certain villain from Korra. They had their own unique story and background that I think gave them not an edge, but gave them a unique version of this kind of villain that I really liked. Again, I don't want to get into spoilers for those of you who haven't seen it, but I think it's a good antagonist. That you don't hate them. You understand their pain and what they're going through. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. I really liked Aang's journey throughout the movie, not just where he's going to, but his spiritual and emotional journey of what he has to come to terms with. I thought was really well. Overall, the voice acting was good because again, this movie has all new voices for all of its characters. They did pretty well. I think honestly, very well. I'm giving it a pro that the voice actors did a good job with what they had to do, with the shoes they had to fill, which is crazy. And my last pro, again, is the beautiful animation. It is gorgeous. They put so much time and effort into this movie just for it to get put onto Paramount Plus. It's such a bummer. But the animation is gorgeous, and I really hope they continue to strive to achieve this level of beauty in their future projects. But here are some cons. Because, again, this movie is not perfect, but it's still really good. The biggest con for me, one of the biggest ones, is the one-dimensional characterizations of certain main characters. The two that stick out to me are Sokka and Toph. In the show, the original Avatar show, Sokka is a fan favorite character, not just because he's goofy, but because of his actual character and the stuff he has to go through. Now, he learns to become a good leader, and in the show, he has some serious moments. In this movie, they just treat him like a comedic relief character. It's not even relieving. I don't need that. I don't want it just to see him be comedic all the time. I want to see his serious moments. And with Toph, it's something similar. She's not just a comedic character, but they're just taking her sarcastic, her part of that character and just dialing it up to 11 in this movie. They're not bad. They're not bad characters in the movie. It's just that they didn't feel like themselves from the show. And I believe that's because of my next con, which is the pacing issues this movie had to deal with. As you know, movies are less than 2 hours most of the time, especially for animated movies. They're around an hour and 40 minutes, just like this movie. Because of that, they don't have the space and time to go into the characters that much. Because the movie, it goes too fast because it is a movie. So because of that, we didn't get time for serious moments throughout the movie. The pacing issues were probably the biggest problem for this movie, and I think that is because the creators are better at working on on shows, episodic formula. And so Avatar show's good, Korra show's good. I'm looking forward to the new show, but this movie is also really good, but because it's a movie, it kind of hurts their style of writing and their style of storytelling. There were scenes in the movie that tried to cram in a joke or two, but it didn't give the movie time to breathe, if that makes sense. There were almost like no slow moments for the characters just to be people. There's one scene at the beginning with Aang and Katara that does go slow, and I love that because it's just them talking. I love that. But there weren't that many moments like that with the rest of the movie because it's just going from scene to scene. Let's go. It goes way too fast. But this movie definitely felt like an anime movie. If you've ever seen any anime movie like Dragon Ball Super Broly, or any anime movie, this movie definitely felt like anime, which is pretty awesome. And I'm okay with that, but I can see how others might not like how anime it feels. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I am looking forward to the new show called Seven Havens, which is coming out in October. And I believe they're just releasing that entire show in one day. I think it's 26 episodes, which is 2 seasons of 13 episode seasons all in one day. That's nuts. That's just, I hope it's good. I'm looking forward to it. The trailer I saw was pretty awesome. So that's coming out in October, and I'm going to watch. I'm going to binge it day one, probably. The other movie I saw this week was The Odyssey. I just saw that yesterday. And I originally was going to have a ticket to go see it in the standard showing, but thankfully I was able to find an IMAX showing, a 70mm IMAX showing, because I've been looking for like the past 2 weeks, and it's been booked, like nonstop full for like the past 2 weeks. It's nuts. I was able to get a front row seat to this movie in 70mm IMAX. So the entire time I was cranking my head straight up to look at this movie. So by the end of it, my neck was in a lot of pain. But it was worth it. It was worth it because this movie was very good. And I'm not just saying that because it's a Christopher Nolan movie or it's good as an IMAX movie. I'm saying it because it was an actually good movie. This movie was genuinely good. I felt invested with a few of the characters. I felt invested the entire time, but 2 characters stood out. You had Odysseus and his son, Tom, which is the actor is Tom Holland. Those are the 2 characters I was invested in with the most. And I remember learning in high school about this story. I think we read it. But the only thing I remember from high school is the ending where Odysseus comes home. That's all I remember. So this whole movie was epic and awesome to me because I didn't remember any of the stuff that happened. So kind of going into it blind was really, really cool. The one scene at the ending again, where Odysseus comes home and kind of has to prove to everyone that he is Odysseus. In this movie, along with the score, it was such a cool scene. It was so epic. And I guess, I don't know, my phone knows how cool that scene is, because now on social media, I keep seeing that same scene over and over again. I don't know how my phone knew I liked it, but it did. It does, and now I keep seeing it, and it's really cool. But my mind has definitely been thinking about certain parts of the movie, so I'll probably have to go see it again, because I keep thinking about it. And I definitely started tearing up when Odysseus came back home, because if you know, you know. But this week I will be seeing Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I'll be in the front row again. So for these 3 movies, Avatar, Odyssey, and Spider-Man, I'm going to be in the front row, which is not by choice. I am not choosing to do this because I get motion sick. All right, so I try my best to not be too close to the screen if I can help it. It's not a terrible viewing experience. The front row is not a terrible viewing experience, but it's not the best for people who get motion sick. Because the last movie that really got me sick was the animated movie called Flow, which got, I think, the Best Animated Picture award. It's the one with the cat. I was in the front row, and I wanted to die because my motion sick was so bad. I think right off the bat in the movie, I knew I was going to get sick. And by the end of it, I was ready to curl up and just die. It was so bad. I barely made it home. I had to go to the restroom or go to the bathroom. It was that bad. It was a good movie, but it got me good. It got me good. But I'm really looking forward to this new Spider-Man movie. I've tried to stay away from trailers and spoilers, but I think I already have a good gist of what this movie's about. I know Spider-Man's mutating. He's going to have organic webbing. He's going to go talk to Bruce Banner, who is somehow going to turn back into the Hulk for some reason. I don't know why, but it's happening. Again, I'm trying my best to stay away from spoilers because I want to go into this movie with an open mind. And that's why I think I liked the Odyssey so much, because I went to that movie with no knowledge really of what the story is about. Same with Avatar. I stayed away from that movie spoilers for so long because that movie was leaked online. I am so glad I didn't watch it because I loved that movie, and if I watched it online beforehand, I would have probably not had as much of a good time as I did. So I'm glad I stayed away from spoilers. I'm trying my best with Spider-Man, but it's hard. It's really hard. And now everything's being leaked online, and I gotta stay off my phone, I gotta stay off the internet. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay? If you're a person out there who likes to spoil stuff, please don't spoil stuff. It ruins it for everyone else. We don't want to be spoiled, okay? So please don't spoil us. We want to go into these movies with fresh minds, fresh eyes, fresh everything, just to get a good experience. Sorry for rambling on there, all right? That is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about this week. A lot of Spider-Man, a lot of movies, honestly. We talked a lot about movies. But thank you so much for tuning in to the Exercise Podcast. Have you played Splatoon Raiders yet? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. Is there a Spider-Man game I didn't list off that you think I should try? I know there's one big one I did not name that I think you guys will definitely notice. But comment down below, what is your favorite Spider-Man game? All right, comment it down. Mine is Spider-Man for PS4. Fantastic game. It's really good. If you have not played that one, play it. Play Spider-Man for PS4, or now I guess PS5. Play on PS5. Just play Spider-Man made by Insomniac. It's a fantastic game. All right, thank you so much for listening to the Extra Slice pod. Thank you so much for listening. Gosh, I have been talking too long. Thank you so much for listening to the Extra Slice podcast, and we will see you next week.